What's up, everybody, and welcome to my TNA Impact Wrestling review. Unfortunately, we did not get last week's show, but we did get this week's show. It's been a busy time, and pretty much as we kicked off the show, we pretty much talked about the hostile takeover Jeff Jarrett has done bringing Global Force Wrestling into TNA Wrestling. And they also talked about Jeff Hardy being EC3's personal assistant and everything, since he won the match last week, a week or two before, to where pretty much Jeff Hardy has to be his now personal assistant against Matt Hardy and everything. But pretty much a lot of things has changed, and next week it will be Lethal Lockdown, Team TNA versus Team Global Force Wrestling for full control of pretty much TNA. And it kicked off with EC3 as EC3 came out pretty much talking about, you know, how he took a low blow last week, and now that his Jeff Hardy services of being an assistant, pretty much he got "you suck" chants and everything. But he's been talking about, it's like he's in a hostile line between Jeff Jarrett and pretty much his Aunt D in this whole war for Global Force and TNA, and EC3 said he couldn't give a crap because he was still world champion at the end of the day. Pretty much EC3 went to talk on about the vote, pretty much the crowd voting against him, but they should have voted with him and stuff. And that pretty much he laid out Matt Hardy and beat him for the World Heavyweight Championship. And now he has Jeff Hardy as his personal assistant. As Jeff Hardy came out, pretty much had water in his hand and pretty much says, "Oh, thank you. I was quenching for a thirst." But pretty much EC3 took the water and pretty much spit it out at him, saying this water wasn't 72 degrees, he says. I'm pretty much talking about his job. So he was ribbing him on the first day of his job. "I'm just ribbing you," he says. And Tyrus pretty much held out a bag, and pretty much it was a sign with EC3's face on it and stuff to hold up, so Jeff Hardy could hold up and everything. And he told him to say that he was the greatest world champion ever, as Jeff Hardy had to say that for him. And pretty much, yeah, we're going to be introducing the next match. This could be your brother Matt Hardy versus Matt Hardy and Rockstar Spud versus EC3 and Tyrus, he says. So he got a little bit funny with it throughout most of this whole segment of him trying to control Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy pretty much doesn't want to do it, but he has to. Rockstar Spud and Matt Hardy went against EC3 and Tyrus then. Pretty much as the tag team match went on, pretty much EC3 tried to get Jeff Hardy to use a chair against Rockstar Spud, but he wouldn't do it, even though Rockstar Spud kind of stood frozen in time for a minute, which didn't make a lot of sense. Like, he just got kind of stumbled right there at one point in time. He was just standing there waiting for the chair shot to happen, but Tyrus came in and hit a choke slam on Rockstar Spud, pretty much winning the match, as Jeff Hardy pretty much had to walk past his brother and held up EC3 and Tyrus' hand in, since, you know, he has to be the third man and stuff out of everything. So he's still being the personal assistant. So the match was alright, I'll say that. The match was alright. Still waiting for Jeff Hardy to come back, though. But, you know, Rockstar Spud, some people think he's the ultimate underdog nowadays also, since he sounds like Rey Mysterio or Daniel Bryan, but he's the new ultimate underdog. So, like I say, Rockstar Spud can cut on one hell of a promo. I'll give him that, though. Eddie Edwards and David Richards were talking to Drew Galloway about Galloway's match tonight for the man advantage for TNA in the Lethal Lockdown match next week, and pretty much said they would have each other's backs and stuff, because the Wolves were fighting for the tag team championships tonight against Brian Myers and Trevor Lee to get the belts back after they were cashed in on with the Feast or Fired case. The Dollhouse were pretty much talking about taking out the Beautiful People after what happened last week. Pretty much they ran up on Madison Rain. Madison Rain wasn't scared, but pretty much all of them attacked each other. Velvet Sky and Angelina Love jumped in, and yes, the Beautiful People are back right away. And pretty much, I guess, Jade hit a chair shot on Angelina Love, leaving her on the ground then. Jeff Jarrett came out, and Karen Jarrett talked about he's going to be taking over TNA soon, and the crowd chanted TNA in, which the crowd's been really lively lately. Pretty much, this is a hostile corporate takeover, but someone has his belt, and Bobby Roode has his belt. He called Bobby Roode out, told him he wants his belt back, but Bobby Roode said, "What the hell are you going to do about it?" And everything. He's saying, "Earn this title." and that he deserves the title now. But Jarrett said, I'm the king of the mountain. I'm the person that started all this, so someone give me the belt back. And he gave him an opportunity to return it, but Karen pretty much got in the middle saying, like, you guys are acting like children and everything, and pretty much she told Bobby that Dixie can't do anything for you pretty much nowadays. You're risking it. Why don't you think about that before you pick a side, she says. Think about that. And pretty much left Bobby Roode in the ring thinking, but Jeff Jarrett pretty much doing hostile takeover and things. Again, it's almost like him being back in 04 when TNA just started, in a way. You know, him taking over the company and stuff. Kenny King was in the back with Jesse Goddard and Eli Drake talking about how Drew Galloway's going around being a suck-up and everything. And he just sucking up to Dixie Carter trying to get anywhere in this company. But Galloway accused them of that, being grateful for the jobs they have in TNA in. And that Kenny King says, we don't fight other people's battles like you, Drew. Pretty much. And he said, I see you guys have a lack of motivation. And then out of nowhere, Robbie E., Micah, and T. Great Uno pretty much were in the back as all men pretty much started brawling. Even though the week before, I thought Kenny King was supposed to be a face last week, because I know I didn't do a review last week, but just from his promo, and it's unfortunate that maybe it was 2 weeks ago, it's unfortunate that the BDC had to go because of Hernandez. It's a shame MVP's not there, or Samoa Joe, or Low Key, or even Hernandez, but Hernandez screwed everybody in the end. That's pretty much the reason why MVP left the company, unfortunately. So, I think Kenny King's trying to be his own man again. No, it's time for him to be his own man. Be the real Kenny King, he says. But now it looks like he's going back to heel for some reason. And they pretty much run a 6-man tag again. Robbie E. hit the finish, winning the match. So it was a way to kind of get through the time, but it was just alright since, you know, now the people in the company are fighting within each other to see who's a suck-up and who's not. Brooke winning against Gail Kim for the TNA Knockouts Championship, which is a way better match. It was actually a really good match with both Kim and Brooke Tessmacher. So it was a really good match. Pretty much Lady Topwood came out trying to distract them both and tried to take the title away, but Brooke and Gail Kim pretty much attacked it. It was a disqualification, and but Lady Topwood took both of them out as Awesome Kong headed to the ring, pretty much power slam Lady Top, and Lady Top powered to slam back, and pretty much Kong got back up and knocked Lady Top out the ring, holding the belt in the air then, pretty much. So she held the belt up in there. I guess she wants the title now. But it was a really good match for both Gail Kim and Brooke Tessmacher. Even the interference wasn't all that bad, but it was actually a good match. And next week they're doing a fatal 4-way for the women's title. Brooke Tessmacher, Gail Kim, Awesome Kong, and Lady Tapa, who will become the Knockouts champion. And I think that sounds like a good match. Hey, it's better than what the WWE Divas do on the main roster nowadays, I'll tell you that. Jeff Hardy was in the back congratulating Gail for standing up for TNA and everything, but pretty much EC3 came up and talked about it and everything. Wanted to keep Jeff Hardy away from this whole TNA versus Global Force thing, because Global Force name and stuff, and pretty much told Galloway good look on losing the company. The Wolves went against Trevor Lee and Brian Myers for the Tag Team Championships, which was probably one of the better matches out of the night, to be honest. There was a lot of people getting involved. First, Sanjay Dutt comes out and gets involved, and even that Scotty Amore dude, but the Wolves were taking him out. But then Earl Hebner, since the referee was taking out, Earl Hebner came out, punched Sanjay Dutt, and got back in the ring. And I know I was going to say this for the TNA review tomorrow for Wednesday, but pretty much since I'm doing this one now, so late on it, Earl Hebner will be the next inductee to the TNA Hall of Fame. And, you know, I'm not really mad at that. Never really see a referee going to a Hall of Fame before. And Earl Hebner's been on here for a long time, and yeah, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, as for who's inducting him, I'm not sure. I think it was Billy Corgan, but I don't know why. But does he deserve any type of Hall of Fame induction status, Earl Hebner? Yes, he's been doing this for a very long time. He's been through almost every company you can almost think of. Most people know him for WWE, and he was in TNA since 2006 being a referee. So Earl Hebner's done a lot. I'm not really mad at him being in the Hall of Fame. And yeah, there should be a TNA Original Hall of Fame in there. And yes, Earl Hebner is a legend, so he can go in any professional wrestling Hall of Fame. For the first time they put a referee in there, it's kind of big when you think about it. You never hear a lot of referees being notable as Earl Hebner. Now, there are some, you know, you had Charles Robinson or Teddy Long was a referee, but he, you know, Teddy Long became his own thing, you know, became a manager and all that stuff, and being general manager of SmackDown for years. But like for a legit referee, you know, just to get into the Hall of Fame for being a referee, I'm not mad at that. And pretty much he's the 6th person to go in there. Pretty much he's now in there with Sting, Kurt Angle, Team 3D, and Jeff Jarrett. So I'm not mad with that. I'm not mad at that. But the Wolves pretty much win the match with a spike pile driver, double team move. So yeah. Chris Melendez came out. Crutches talking about Eric Young cheated to win his leg and everything, and he fought for his leg and stuff. But pretty much Eric Young said he's gonna come out and kick his ass and everything. And so you're not ready for Eric Young. And pretty much he told Sergeant Melendez, almost begged for his back. You don't look like an American hero, he says. And so you mess with one of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling. I took out Kurt Angle, he says. And Melendez pretty much said, yeah, you did, but he's still here. He's ready to fight. As Eric Young pushed him down, he says, we will fight, he says. And he's going to take everything away from Chris Melendez in the next match, I guess now. He's going to take everything away from him. So it was a good segment. Coming into Mahiba Shahid or Koya, talking about James Storm and everything, and how he took him in, and his friend was Manic, and now he is coming after James Storm since he came from India to make his name in professional wrestling. So Koya, Mahiba Shahid, we'll see next week how it goes, but he's trying to be his own man now also. Drew Galloway went against Chris Mordetzky for the Man Advantage Lethal Lockdown. Pretty much it was mostly like a lumberjack matches. Both men went on, and pretty much it was just brawling with each other everywhere. When it got to crazy at one point, Jarrett came out with a guitar getting ready to hit Drew Galloway, but Eric Young stopped him and took the guitar away from Jeff Jarrett. After that, Jeff Jarrett, he took Jeff Jarrett's guitar and hit Drew Galloway with the guitar in hand. So I don't know where this is going to go with this match, to be honest. So Eric Young was his heel. We already know he's heel, but was he in a feud with Chris Melendez? Now he's fighting for Jeff Jarrett now. So now they have the man advantage. So I don't know what's going to happen on Lethal Lockdown this Wednesday for TNA. Maybe it'll be a good match. We'll see. We got Bound for Glory coming up in October. Hopefully they do better than last year what they did in Japan. Because there was just too many things going on in Japan that just didn't make sense last year. World title wasn't on the line. Yes, there were some good matches, but you have to be a big Japanese wrestling fan to know this stuff in a way. And I know some of the matches are entertaining, but some things, I hope they change it around this year, and it's good. Because there's been a lot of TNA news lately. Like I said, Earl having to be in the Hall of Fame, Kurt Angle not re-signing with TNA, and not even going to re-sign with WWE. Kurt Angle's taking a long... Yeah, Kurt Angle deserves a break. After with his neck lately, he needs to take off for a while. Let him rest, then he can come back to the company and wrestle again. But Kurt Angle he deserves a break right now. Let him take a break for a while. It's really messed up with his neck. We don't need another Daniel Bryan case on us or anything, because that's already bad, and there's no telling if he'll ever wrestle again either. But Kurt Angle just needs a break. But this is my TNA Impact Wrestling review. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Keep up more shows, live reactions. Out.